morning. So it's the morning of another double shift, and I'm just checking in with you guys. A few thoughts. I'm so stressed out. It's crazy. Like, I'm so tired. It's so hard to think about anything. But my uncle told me something yesterday. He gave me a pep talk, and this was unrelated. It was I was just so stressed out. I didn't want to go back into work, and he kind of like gave me a pep talk. My uncle was someone that escaped from Iran, in the middle of the revolution of 1979. He escaped, and with nothing, with absolutely nothing, and he was being smuggled out by a group of Kurds through the desert. And the Kurds something happened, and they were afraid for their lives, and they ran away. So he and his friends, at the age of 10, were like stranded in the desert. For a few years, he was living on the streets, and he was traveling around through different countries, trying to survive, living in the streets. And at some point, he ended up in Canada, and someone found him lying down, sleeping in the snow in a corner, and invited him into their house as the cleaning boy, like the boy who cleaned and took care of their house. And from there, like that, he was always a hustler. And one thing he told me that really lifted me up is that there's nothing to be afraid of, like starting back at zero, which I'm not starting back at zero, but the fear is that I'm starting back at zero. Like, it feels like I'm starting back at zero. And so he said, starting from zero is not scary. The fear is when you don't know where zero is. Once you know where zero is, and you know that you can handle it, and you are able to survive from zero, then nothing else is scary anymore. You know exactly where zero is. You know zero is when you don't have a place to live, you're out on the streets, you can't pay rent, you can't pay anything, and you have to figure out a way to survive, and you don't have a way to survive. That's zero. And you have experienced, and you meaning me, like I've experienced zero before. For me, I wasn't even in a war or anything like that. It was completely through my own actions and my own ignorance and immaturity. I ended up at zero, and I'm kind of at a different type of zero right now. But I know what it is, and it's not bad. It's not crazy. I can handle it. So the only thing to be afraid of is not knowing where zero is. And so many Americans don't know where zero is because they have to stay at the exact same place. They've never taken risks. They have stayed at the exact same place their entire lives. Or they have stayed at zero their entire lives, and they don't even see that as zero. So the only fear is not moving.